Welcome back to another episode of the Hunt, Fish, Live podcast. This is episode number 20, and I am very excited to bring it to you. I cannot believe I've done 20 of these already, and the sky's the limit for how many more I'm going to do. They're a lot of fun. Gives me a chance to talk about my outdoor adventures and everything along the way. So come along with me as I go over a few ice fishing trips that I had this past week and maybe some deer harvest numbers from the state of Michigan. Let's get into it. Well, I headed out onto the hard water, chasing walleye. This is my first actual, legit, only purpose of fishing was to catch walleye fishing trip through the ice. And I went to a lake that I've caught walleye in, and I know where they hang out. So, got in the truck, headed out early, stopped to get bait and gas, and made it to the launch by, right around sunrise. I was a little late because the stupid gas station wasn't open when I got there than they were supposed to be, and then they didn't have any bait. So I had to drive 20 minutes out of my way to another bait shop and buy some minnows. It was just a big headache. I was irritated, and it put me behind schedule by about a half hour. So I wanted to get there a little before daylight and get that first hour bite. That's usually pretty good, but instead I did not make it in time. I ended up setting up in about 6 foot of water to start. That's where we usually catch them from shore, and didn't have any action, so moved out a little deeper down the drop off, and I was sitting in 11 to 13 foot of water for the most part, and I dropped down my jig and spoon, my shame shaker, tipped with a minnow head, and there were fish on the bottom, so I didn't know really what they were. All I could tell was that there's fish on the bottom. On my Vexlar, did a little bit of jigging, got some interest, and a fish started chasing my bait around. Came off the bottom. I was able to bring it up a couple feet to around 10 foot, and it smashed that shame shaker jig. That was a ton of fun. It ended up being a 22-inch pike that I did not keep. I let it go. That was a lot of fun. I'd never caught a bigger fish like that, and I cannot wait to do it again. It was fantastic. Such an adrenaline rush. I did have 2 tip-ups out as well, and sitting there jigging my spoon, and all of a sudden the flag went up and it took off. The spool was spinning, and I was excited. I went over and got it, and let line out. Was very, very cautious to not pull the hook out of this fish's mouth, and pull the line set the hook, and nothing was there. Kind of disappointing, but that was the first flag that I had got to interact with in quite a few years. So I was excited. My adrenaline was going, and I felt like I was going to catch a fish, a walleye. I was marking walleye. I was marking something, apparently. Apparently it wasn't walleye. Fished for a few hours and got cold and headed home. It was Super Bowl Sunday, so I had some delicious food to make, and we had to get ready for the football game. This past week, I was able to get out, Monday afternoon? Yeah, Monday afternoon. Was it Monday afternoon? Yeah, it was Monday afternoon. Got out I did a little 1 hour fishing challenge on my fishing page. Go check that out. Dan Does Fishing on YouTube. That video is up there as we speak. I'll have a link in the description of this, so you can go check that out and see how that went. It was a ton of fun. I love doing the 1 hour fishing challenges, especially ice fishing, because you don't have much time to find them, and you are only fishing in a 6-inch diameter hole. So the odds are stacked against you pretty high. But I ended up catching some fish. Caught a little bass and 7 or 8 little bluegill. I think it was 7. Yeah, it was fun. So go check that video out. It is worth the watch. Subscribe to that channel too. That would be super awesome if you did that. This past weekend, the Ice Fishing World Championships were held in Lakeview, Michigan on Tamarack Lake. This is such a cool event. I didn't make it up there to see what was going on and how everything was going and everything like that. But what a crazy event for this part of the country, this part of the state. You don't think of any world championships happening in this area. And this year, the city of Lakeview and Tamarack Lake were selected for the Ice Fishing World Championships. There were 10 teams from 10 different countries from all over the world. I guess they stayed down in Grand Rapids, but they fished up in Lakeview on Tamarack Lake. They had a few days of practice, and where they would get to try out their different techniques. And I guess this year was the first year that they did catch and release weighing in of the fish. Everything was let go that they caught. Normally, I guess they keep them, which I didn't know. I assume they always let them go. But yeah, so this was the first event for that, which is very cool. I know on Friday they had the opening ceremony, so to speak. They had a flag parade with all the countries that were represented walking through with their nation's flag, and they did meet and greets afterwards as well. Like I said, didn't make it to town for that, and we had stuff going on for the weekend that we weren't able to get there as well. The countries present fishing the 21st World Ice Fishing Championship in 2025 on Tamarack Lake were Mongolia, Kazakhstan, Sweden, Latvia, the United States, Estonia, Finland, Norway, Lithuania, and Poland. Each team had 5 anglers that they fished, I believe. They kept track of everything in grams. There was an app you could watch with all the current weights from all the fishermen. There were 3 anglers on the U.S. team that were from West Michigan, so that was kind of cool to see how they stood up to all these guys from around the world and around our country as well. It's not every day you get an event like this in your backyard, basically. So I'm kind of bummed that we didn't make it out to check out some of the action, but that's all right. We got to watch along on Facebook and their website, so that helped a little bit, but still kind of bummed. Would have loved to get out there and see everything that was going on. Just an exciting time, I guess. Let's see. They fished competitively Saturday and Sunday of this past week, so February 15 and 16. When it was all said and done, Lithuania came in first place, Finland second, Norway third, Estonia fourth, Poland fifth, United States sixth, Latvia seventh, Sweden eighth, Kazakhstan ninth, and Mongolia came in 10th. Definitely going to be following along the U.S. team from now on every year to see how they do, now that I've kind of had my interest perked in the World Ice Fishing Championships. So next year, check it out. even this year. I don't know if they're done for the season, but I know they fish all over the world competing against each other. So, yeah, look into it. It is switching gears to the hunting side of things for now. Just the last half of this episode. I looked up, and I wanted to let you guys all know the the reported deer kills as of February 13 here in the state of Michigan were 299,515. That's reported harvests. I'm sure the number's higher. Not everyone reports, and that's okay. Well, it's not okay. You're supposed to. So report your deer harvest in the state of Michigan and anywhere where it's legal to. Yeah, I kind of feel like the number should be a little bit higher, but we all know how that's how things go sometimes. I can say though that I was a little bit surprised at the top 10 list for antlered deer in the state of Michigan for reported harvest. We have Sanilac County with 4,373. Jackson County at number 2 with 3,944. Saginaw County with 3,938. Montcalm County with 3,634. Lapeer County at number 5 with 3,514. Menominee County with 3,478. Tuscola County with 3,365. Clinton County with 3,341. And Newaygo County with 3,325. Kind of surprised to see Newaygo on there and Montcalm County on there. But seeing all my friends, I have a bunch of buddies who hunt in Montcalm County, and a lot of them killed some big deer this year. So that kind of doesn't surprise me, but it does. You just don't think of one of the counties that you hunt in or have hunted in being one of the top counties for antlered deer in the state. The antler list report is pretty much the same as far as the order goes. Sanilac County was just over 5,000. Saginaw County just under 4,000. Jackson County 3,800. Tuscola County 3,700. Gratiot County 3,600. Newaygo County with 3,500. Lapeer 3,400. Hillsdale with 3,300. And Montcalm with just over 3,000. So I don't know how I feel about that. I'm kind of not surprised that there wasn't more in the UP in northern Michigan, but that's all right. Yeah, so you can find these results on the DNR website. Just go there and look under DNR, or do like a Google search for DNR harvest reports. It might help you plan your hunt trips on public land for the next season. I know it will help me. It has helped me before. For turkey season, I have used the harvest reports and figured out an area to turkey hunt on public land that doesn't get much pressure. I thought it didn't get much pressure, but apparently it did. But there's a ton of turkeys, and I'm very excited to get out this next season and chase some more toms on public land close to home. Yeah, I've got my buddy Corey doing the same season as I am now, so we can do it together. Turkey hunting with a buddy is always so much fun. You get to share the moment of all the moments of decisions, the moments of failures, the moments of triumph together. And it's not like deer hunting. You don't have to sit there and be quiet. You have to be still when you can, be still for the most part, but you can chit chat, you can hang out, have a good time, sit next to the tree. Sit next to a tree or in a blind, however you do it. More of a blind or ground, sitting on the ground next to a tree hunter. Don't really trust public land in a blind. It gets kind of crazy sometimes, or it can get kind of crazy. But yeah, you can find those turkey harvest reports on the DNR's website as well. So make sure to go check those out. Find yourself a good turkey spot for this spring. Find yourself a good deer hunting spot for next fall, and do some scouting so you're not going in blind. That's the best advice that I can tell you. If you're hunting public land, scout. Hang trail cameras if you dare, but you need to find where the deer are going. Right now is the perfect time to do it with a little bit of snow on the ground. It's easy to find those runways and travel points and even feeding areas for those whitetails. That's it for this episode of the Hunt Fish Live podcast. Whether you're on the water or in the woods or just enjoying life, thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications. I'll see you next week. Have a great one.